Hey guys, it's CJ from smartkt.com. In the last video we unboxed the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. However, in this video we're unboxing the HTC Droid DNA smartphone. It's available for $200 with a new 2-year agreement or $600 outright from Verizon Wireless. That'll buy you a device with a 5-inch 1080p Full HD Super LCD 3 display, a Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 Pro 1.5 GHz quad-core processor, 16 gigabytes of internal storage, 2 gigabytes of RAM, an 8 megapixel rear camera, 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera, 4G LTE connectivity, NFC, and a 2020 milliamp hour battery. It's also running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean with HTC Sense 4 Plus. Now let's get to the unboxing. So since this handset carries the Droid moniker, the box has the Droid theme going on with that familiar red eye staring at us. So let's open up the box, and there's the Droid DNA sitting on top. Let's pop it off. See how it feels in hand. Now I did take a peek at this when I was unboxing the Galaxy Note 2 so I could do a size comparison, and I gotta say it does feel like a very solid phone in hand. But that's typical for HTC. They always put out devices that feel like they're made from premium materials, and this is no different. So you can see, very nice design. We got that red stripe there. The back has a nice soft touch feel to it. Very nice feeling. But let's go ahead and power it on. And we'll put that off to the side, let that boot up and see how long it takes, or see how fast it takes, I should say. And we'll take a look at what else is in the box. Alright, so it looks like we have a SIM tray removal tool right here. Let's pop that out. We'll be using that in a second. Nice little boot animation. Looks like we have our manuals here. Typical stuff. Many manuals. SIM card would go there as well. Drop that off. Micro USB to USB charge and sync cable. Got our usual power brick from HTC. Hasn't changed in years. That looks like that's all we got here. No earphones, no other accessories, but that's alright. Alright, as usual, let's start with a little hardware tour. Let's zoom into the top here where we find our usual sensors, our notification light, earpiece speaker grill, I like the little red accent, the Verizon logo, and our 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera on the left side. Below that, of course, the large 5-inch 1080p Full HD Super LCD 3 display, so a very high resolution screen. That's 1920 by 1080 resolution, and I believe that translates to 440 pixels per inch, so superb pixel density with this screen. It really has no excuse but to be sharp, crisp, vivid, and clear. And I'm sure once I start using it, I'll feel like this is one of the best displays on the market right now, and probably for the next year or so. Actually, I believe many phones that are going to be coming out probably are going to be 1080p, maybe in the same 5-inch class. Alright, so let's move on over here to the bottom, where we have our capacitive buttons. We have back, home, and our task switcher. Flip it over to the bottom. You can see we have our charging port concealed. There's a little microphone to the right of that as well. Let the camera focus in on that. Come on, there we go. On the right side, again, we have that red stripe. Nice touch to the design. Now if you can see closely, there are a bunch of little holes, so it kind of looks like a speaker, but it's not. I guess that's just a design choice, or maybe that helps vent some air, I'm not sure. Over on the top we have our volume up and down rocker. Now this actually sits very flush to the side of the device, so it looks very nice, so great for aesthetics. I'm not sure how that's going to translate when I'm in a dark or dimly lit room and I want to feel around for that button. It might be a little tough there. Up at the top We have our another microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack, the power button right in the middle, again with the red accent, and again flush with the device. And you might be wondering what this is. That's actually where your SIM card goes. So let's use that SIM card tray removal tool and push down, and then it pops up. There you go. So that's where your SIM card goes, in case you were wondering. Alright, close that up. Move on to this side. I guess this side is completely flush. Let's get a closer look at those holes. Nice little metallic touch there. And flip over to the back. Pull this plastic off. Likewise there. Alright, again, nice soft touch backing here. Feels really nice in hand. Zoom into the top. We have our 8-megapixel rear camera with LED flash, and you can't really see it, or maybe you can, but there's actually a notification light right there. So not only will you have a notification light on the front of the device, but when you have your device down, when you're in a meeting or something, you'll still see that notification light. So that could come in handy. Moving on down, we have our HTC logo. Below that, 4G LTE logo and the Beats Audio logo. So it does support Beats Audio, but a quick reminder that this device does not come with any sort of headphones or earphones. Now there are a couple things I want to mention about the hardware that could be deal breakers for some of you out there. First, this device has a unibody design, so it goes a long way in making it look sleek, but it also means it has a non-removable battery, so you can't carry around spare batteries. And furthermore, that battery only has a capacity of 2020 milliamp hours. So HTC kind of skimped there with that. Of course, the Galaxy Note 2 from Samsung has a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and that has a stellar battery life from what I can tell so far. Hopefully this device can at least manage average battery life. If you remember, the HTC Resound got a lot of complaints for having poor battery life because they skimped on the battery for that as well. Now the reason why I say 2020 milliamp hours may not be that much for this device, even though it was for previous devices over the past year, this device has a very powerful processor. It's quad-core Snapdragon S4 Pro CPU, and then you couple that with the 5-inch 1080p HD screen, and that's going to consume a lot of battery. So hopefully HTC did their research and tested the device out properly and realized, hey, you only need a 2020 milliamp hour battery to get decent battery life. But I'll have to test that out and get back to you guys and let you know my findings. Another limitation that I can see people taking issue with concerns storage. Unfortunately, this smartphone only has 16 gigabytes of internal storage, so no expandable memory, no micro SD card slot anywhere on the device. So you're stuck with just 16 gigabytes. Now that could be an issue for those of you who like to load up a lot of media like movies, songs, and especially high-end games. A lot of these games like Gameloft's Modern Combat 4 take upwards of 1 to 1.5 gigabytes. So you're going to eat through a lot of that storage very quickly, and I'm sure a lot of that is already taken up by the system. Moving on to our size comparison, we get to see how the HTC Droid DNA in the middle compares to the Samsung Galaxy Note 2 on the left and the Samsung Galaxy Nexus on the right. Of course, the Galaxy Note 2 is a phablet, or oversized smartphone slash undersized tablet. It has a 5.5-inch HD 720p display, and the Galaxy Nexus has a 4.65-inch 720p HD display. And again, the Droid DNA has that 5-inch 1080p Super LCD display. So we'll stack them up. Let's first put the Galaxy Nexus on top of the Droid DNA. So you can see very similar sizes. Droid DNA is a bit taller, similar widths. Stack up Droid DNA on top of the Note 2. Obviously the Note 2 is just going to devour that. And then we'll stack them all together to see how they look from the sides. So it seems the Droid DNA and Galaxy Note 2 have very similar depths, and the Galaxy Nexus is thicker than both of them. Zoom in on that for you. Okay, to wrap up the video, let's turn the device on. Check out that beautiful screen. We'll unlock it. Man, I gotta say, in person this looks better than I thought it would be, actually. Very high resolution screen. It looks almost flawless, I would say. Very, very nice. And you can see it's very fluid. That Snapdragon S4 processor doing its job nicely. Let's open up the app tray, see what's in here. A lot of Amazon apps, Verizon apps. Looks like we have a demo of a game here, Reign of Amira, Udini, Slacker Radio. So a fair share of bloatware. Again, this is running Android 4.1 Jelly Bean with HTC Sense 4 Plus. It's back out of there. Pull up the widgets. So HTC is famous for their suite of widgets. Lots and lots to choose from, and in my opinion, they're the best default widgets of any smartphone manufacturer. Another thing I want to note that Verizon seems to be doing with all of their devices now, they're putting this annoying ongoing notification that reminds you that you have Wi-Fi networks available, and even when you're connected to a network, it'll remind you up there. It's nice to have quick access to toggle the Wi-Fi on and off, but I wish they would do it another way. Interesting that they don't have quick toggles like on the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. You would think by now they would add those in, but you can access your settings easily by going there. And while we're here, let's actually check out the storage situation. As I mentioned before, only 16 gigabytes of storage, no expandable memory, and you can see it already starts out using a good chunk of that. So you have about 11 gigabytes to work with out of the box. Let's go into the messaging application, tap on that, see what the keyboard looks like. Nice keyboard. Back out. How about we go to the web? Pull up smartkti.com. There we go. See how fast scrolling goes. Pinch to zoom. Perfect. And before we sign off, let's just move around a little bit more. Folders, task switcher. You can just swipe stuff away. If you hold the home button, you'll load up Google Search and Google Now. So this was the unboxing of the Verizon HTC Droid DNA. More coverage to come, including comparisons with the Samsung Galaxy Note 2, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.